big school, big coffee shop, great big mosque where we can have prayer meetings, and bakeries, offices, and parks 1,000 cars. So we need about $800,000, and this fight I'll keep about 700. So I'm going to concentrate now on taking at least 600 and put on the building. That's in Detroit for all the Muslims there who are converting our wineheads and dope addicts and prostitutes and cleaning up black people, making our women women and men men. Only the Muslims can boast to say we're doing it. So I can't think of no greater than spending my money for Allah, God, and the resurrection and freedom of my black people. See who the man is from America. It's Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
And that's because just where I'm talking now. And not talking but doing it. Not just talking but get the money and go do it the next day.
Glad to be part of the struggle and being a world figure involved. The satisfaction I get is being...
You laughing because you figured that was it, huh?
Position which he might think ideal, all these objects only have an intoxicating effect on man. And after attaining these objects, he's still not satisfied. He thinks that there's probably something else that he would like to have.
It's not intended to say, or maybe back the dope alone, they didn't like Malcolm. As soon as Jesus died, they done got 666 denominations. Everybody say, no, Jesus meant that. No, Jesus meant this. Do it the way you want it, because Jesus ain't here to straighten your behind out. Oh, Malcolm X. Oh, Malcolm, Brother Malcolm. Oh, Brother Malcolm. Brother Malcolm was here. You wouldn't stay with him 2 minutes when he was talking right.
So this is the nature of man. After gaining the things that he wants, and maybe that what he wants.
All on the black walls, I see Huey Newton, Algernon Cleaver, Angelus Davis, Rap Brown, Muhammad Ali, Bobby Seale, Stokely Carmichael. But I don't see the picture of Elijah Muhammad. See how brainwashed you are today? See how you're still fools? Thinking you're going right and you're still going wrong? Elijah Muhammad taught all of them. Made me, made Malcolm, Eldridge Cleaver been to the mosque. All of them read Muhammad speaks. That's where all the ideas come from. And how can you look at them as being the greatest? Why you don't talk about Elijah? Do they tell you that he was converting whores and faggots and lesbians and sisters and uniting these dumb niggas by the hundreds of thousands and cleaning them up? Why they don't talk about him? So the afro don't mean a damn thing. Yeah, right on, brother. Don't mean a damn thing if you don't recognize your real leader.
Ali's appearance here today is part of a nationwide tour of college campuses. For Eyewitness News, this is Evan White reporting at Stanford.
Let's check it.
Well, do you think reports like the Kerner report on the riots, where they said that this country was moving to two separate societies, how does this affect
This also makes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad right. He represents separation of the races, where black people can have a country for themselves, growing their own food, building their own buildings and homes, and building their own highways. Now that we're not slaves, now that we're not servants no more, we should be separated somewhere to ourselves. Well, I couldn't elaborate on that because nothing can really push the growth of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. His teachings is enough. Nobody else can really help it, and nobody can really destroy it. We believe that Allah, God, taught him. He's a divine sent man. His works will be accomplished. And the whites are the ones who, I would say, make our movement grow, if anybody. The injustices that black people get, taking their politicians and throwing them out of the White House, killing their leaders, taking their athletes and champions and putting them out. This helped Russia's following and make people come to hear more about what it really is that shakes up the power structure so about Elijah Muhammad. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't chase white women, we're not looking to integrate, we bathe twice a day, pray 5 times a day, and we don't want to push white people out of the neighborhoods, we're not pushing them out of the restaurants, but yet we seem to be the most despised and hated, and this makes the Negro who don't belong to the NAACP, who don't belong to nothing, he's watching, wondering what is right. And he see Muslims getting all the attention, and yet they're the cleanest and the nicest. They seem to be the most disliked, and everything that we practice, everything we preach is what white folks really believe, and it's what they are doing. And this rushes people and make our movement grow. The injustices that black people get, the swimming in failed, laying in failed, integrating, dying in, and now everything's done failed them. So now they're ready to listen to Elijah Muhammad.
Got a prediction yet for this fight?
No prediction, just he will take a unmerciful beating, a terrible bruising, pounding. He'll suffer a lot of pain and agony, a lot of humiliation, and I will punch him at will. I will beat him so clear that it'll be so plain for the world to see that he's not in my class and that he was only a shadow of a true champion.
You said before that you never plan any strategy before you get in the ring, that you do it once you get in there. Is it the same for this fight?
The only thing I plan to do this time is to be serious. No clowning, no landing the ropes, no talking, no joking. Just serious. Winning every round, plainly, decisively, and looking for knockout. I'm going to hit him with the same punch as I hit George Foreman with. This is something I would love to do, and I would get more enjoyment out of this than making $1 million for myself and living on some hill as a millionaire, knowing that I can help all these people. And I think that the contender, answering your question, for this is a man who wants a shot at me. And he's right now, he was in Vietnam, mentioning it and talking about me. And his name is Floyd Patterson. And I understand Mr. Patterson did not accept the invitation to fight in this elimination. It was reported that he did, but he didn't. And I think that that was a wise move. And this will enable him to have a chance at me. And although many states and on paper, they may not recognize me as the champion, but Floyd Patterson and the world knows if he can physically defeat me, he will be the champion of the whole world, regardless to what the elimination results is. So we'll just hope tomorrow to humbly take ourselves before the commissioner and hope that he will grant us the license and the authority to fight in order to help these hundreds and thousands of hungry people.
Have you talked to Floyd Patterson?
No.
Do you feel if you get your license?
I'm sure Floyd is a real good Christian, and he's a humble man, he's meek, and I'm sure he would want to help sponsor something like this and donate probably 10% of his earnings to it. He probably wouldn't donate all of it as me, but if he could just donate 10% of it.
Do you think he could give you a decent fight?
Well, I think he could give me a better fight than anybody out here today.
A lot of people don't think so, okay?
Yeah. Well, I do. Whoever you can name, can you think of somebody?
Well, wasn't it the state of Nevada that turned down a fight between you and Patterson?
Yeah.
And it wasn't the reason that they decided that it wasn't that he really wasn't a suitable opponent for you?
Yeah, they said something about it would be robbery to the public or something.
Yeah.
And that's where all the people get robbed. Las Vegas.
Well, Muhammad, that's a suggestion.
Well, yes. When your next champion won't fight but once a year, whoever he'll be.
and then he'll probably have a return clause, and it'll be 3 years before two men have rematches. That's what you're going to run into now. Not every 7 weeks like me. Once a year they'll fight. So if I sat down a year, it wouldn't be nothing new. Patterson did it, Liston did it, Johansson did it, Marsander did it. They waited a whole year before fights.
You could be ready in a few weeks, huh?
What I mean is, just me sitting down for 5 months looks strange because I'm such an active champion. Where what you've been used to looking at and what you're going to start seeing again, if I'm not around, is a title fight once a year. Since we are all black people, same common cause, and not seem to be making no progress at all, we should all come together. Not we, I'm not a leader, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all of the other civil rights leaders should come together and sit down and talk it out and have an intelligent discussion and sit down and see who's got the best program and the best solution to our problem, and then whoever they can figure out that's got the best program and the best solution to this 400-year-old problem here in America, then they all should follow and back that 1,000%. And this is not my idea. I only got this from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's been calling for this for the past 36 years. Cassius Clay was the name of the white slave master, and if Mr. Hawkins bought me, if I was auctioned off to Mr. Smith, then my name was Mr. Smith. But now that since we are free, we are no longer slaves, white people no longer own us, we say, so therefore I'm going back into the name of a black man. For an example, if I said here comes Mr. Chang Chong, you look for Chinaman. If I said here comes Mr. Khrushchev or Mr. Kosygin, you would know he's a Russian. If I said here comes Mr. Chang Chong, you know he's a Chinaman. If I said here comes Mr. White Cloud, you know he was an Indian. If I said here comes Mr. Gomez, you know he was a Mexican. If I said it come Mr. Lumumba, Mr. Nkrumah, you know he was African. But if I said it come Mr. Clay or Mr. Williams or Mr. Jones, you wouldn't know what color he was until you seen him. So now that I'm free, now that I no longer belong to white people, now I want to be called, it's a disgrace, it's an insult to be called Cassius Clay, because I'm not white. I'm Muhammad Ali, I'm a black man. It's the name of our history, our ancestry. So now it's an honor, once coming into the knowledge of self, to be called by my own name. How would a Russian look named George Washington? And he's still white. Well, how do you look named George Washington? Black as coal. So now I'm free. So I love Muhammad Ali. It's my name. It's connected me with all my brothers.
Muhammad, would you fight Floyd Patterson differently if you had to do it over again?
Yes.
How?
Whoop him worse so. Deaths are coming behind these demonstrations, and heads are. Martin Luther King is a good man. He's my brother. He's still like me. We're all catching hell. He's got his approaches of freedom. He's doing his best, and he's changing now too. He sees that. I mentioned once, Mr. King said that if every black man in the world wanted to separate, if I was the only one here, I'll still be here trying to integrate. And now I understand he sees now that it seems to be impossible to do what he want to do. And you all, the whites, you know it's right, and you're going to have to face it sooner or later, because God himself, whose proper name is Allah, is not the author of integration, and the supreme beam is behind the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's teaching him daily, and you're going to have to face it whether you like it or not. And the Negro today is waking up too. Muslim or not, no Muslim, they all are saying Assalamu alaikum. They all are calling each other brother. They all are getting African hairstyles. They all are calling each other black men, and they're changing. And integration and this old trick just won't work no more unless you come out 100% with it and give him justice. They'll never, go that way. Well, it's up to the people. Boxing is no good if the people don't pay to see it. And the people of America are a little too intelligent to sit and enjoy a match between a bunch of boys that I have already annihilated. And like I'm the heavyweight champion of the whole world, I have defeated everybody in the world, fought them all sizes, races, religions, went to all countries, all styles, gave them all a chance every 7 weeks. fought them without return clauses, and I've established myself as a known true champion. And just making a champion, a homemade champion, with a pen and a pencil will not work. People just won't go for it.
Would you fight the winner of it,
Mohammed, do you think that's why they have to have 2 heavyweight matches at one time to make up for one that you fought?
Well, that may draw as half as many people as I did. I don't know.
Is there any contender right now who might give you a good showing?
Well, yes, the man that I'm watching is Joe Frazier and this Jerry Quarry. And
what about your sparring
Thad
partner?
Spencer's getting pretty sharp. I'm not here to compromise in nothing that I believe religiously. All of that's out. The Vietnam situation and the draft board, this has been handled. I have been convicted. I'm subject to 5 years, which I will pay for whatever I'm decided guilty for. I'm not here to compromise to my religion. And the world now know we've had enough controversy, and I'm now respected as a sincere Muslim, and my name is Muhammad Ali, and I notice you keep referring to me as Clay. And I understand he asked me what was my legal name. He said, if Clay is on the birth certificate, I imagine that's what you put on the boxing license. Then I imagine if I did get a license, I would have to be called Clay when you introduce me in the ring. So I couldn't do that either. So I'm not here to be a hypocrite or a phony. I'm just here not to compromise in my religion. I'm not here to beg to box.
With the man standing over you, you cannot get up. Unless you use both hands, right? Unless you can't get up with him standing over you. See how he was standing over me? Did you see that fight? So by the time Walcott got him to the corner, the man on the outside had counted to 10, but me and Clay started back to fighting after I had gotten up. Am I correct?
I'm not saying you're correct, I'm just asking questions.
I mean, and then after the referee came in and broke us up, I went to the corner, but I thought the round was over.
I understand you have your rights to believe as you want. Regardless of your religion or my religion, this is just something I would love to do to help these thousands of hungry children, and that's not a quarter for me, and I'm not here to compromise in my religion. I'm not here to accept the name of Cassius Clay just to do this. I'm just here to help these people, and I just hope that you want to help us too. That's all. It's nothing to beg.
Well, I was about to say that this is a commendable idea, of course, of helping these people. Now, let me go back just a little bit. You have been boxing for some period of time. You became the champion of the world in 1964, February the 25th of 64. In that period of time, you have had the opportunity given to you in this country of amassing or collecting a rather sizable amount of money as your share of the winning.
After taxes, yes, sir.
Have you, this may, and it comes as no shock to you or surprise that we all pay taxes.
Yes, sir, I understand.
But I wanted to find out if this was something you have been doing all the time, namely you have been giving vast amounts of your income to help the poor people,
No, sir,
or is this just something suddenly that popped up?
Everyone knows this just popped up.
Yeah, I see.
Well, you've given $20,000 though. Didn't you say you gave $20,000?
That's the Jim Brown's group and
Yes.
other colleges.
That's
But
helping the
it's
poor.
naturally this has
Well,
just come up. Naturally this just
We're not
came up.
restricting the truth. Yes.
I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
What the Muslims have done in the ghetto towards building people and
Ray, A and B, who do you think might be the
with me, I would say the money being raised with me right now, as well as I'm liked and loved by mainly my people, and then many of the whites of America and all Asian, Africa, and all Europe, and with the satellites and the closed circuit theaters, and I'm sure that we could get at least cash after taxes, whatever it may be, for the whole program, $1 million with no trouble or more.
I want to throw some stuff in the game.
Maybe $2 million.
I want to throw some stuff in the game. If in fact there is not a commitment from every black boxer who is in that tournament, the winner of which will take on this challenge to fight Muhammad Ali, black people have no business supporting any of those fights in that tournament.
Right.
Have no business supporting any of those fights. We will boycott the whole damn match, the whole damn tournament, if we don't get a commitment in the next 48 hours from every black boxer in that tournament that in fact he will be the boxer who meets Muhammad Ali in this match.
Well, I'd like to say another thing. With these other boxers, I'm the only boxer who could fight like almost every month. These fellas are a little slow and they're not too good. And it will be a good maybe 2 years before they decide a champion, and then before the champion defend, it might be another whole year. So we cannot wait 3 years to get our program off. We'll have to go on and have this thing soon, because the people are hungry now, and they can't sit back and wait 3 years for a bunch of slow, flat-footed heavyweights to battle out the system.
The Congress of Racial Equality, Brother McKissick, have brought the two of us together because
I'm always here to promote boxing and to promote Cassius Clay. I want all of the people to be here to see the world's greatest fighter, the world's prettiest fighter, the oldest prophet, the oldest poet in the fight game today, the oldest man to retire, Sonny Liston, the big ugly bear.
Do you really think you can beat Sonny Liston?
I don't think I can beat him. I know I can beat him.
What makes you think you can beat him?
Just because I'm just the greatest. I've had 20 professional fights, won them all, of course, knocked out 19, and 15 of those 19, I told the chump the exact round he was going down.
Have you got a poem for the bear?
I got a good poem for the bear, and I got a good poem for the followers who believe in the bear. If you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sonny.
For getting together is that we're appearing before the State Athletic Commission tomorrow at 2 o'clock to petition the commission.
You mentioned the name of Floyd Patterson as being the gentleman you think would be the most worthy opponent for such a fight here in Oakland. What about some of the other men? Would you accept any worthy contender?
Well, yes, I said Mr. Patterson because he's anxious to have another fight. And, he was in Vietnam making a few statements that he would like another shot, but he don't think it'd be possible. And he's fast, and he's got up off of the floor twice with Jerry Quarry for the draw. He's young and strong. And not Patterson, but anybody who will accept a challenge, anybody, any of the contenders. I would just hate to start calling names and putting them on spots or forcing them to say that they will accept it or they will not accept it. But I just mentioned Patterson because I know he's one that I'm sure wouldn't turn in a fight because he knows that if he beats me, he will be the legal, real champion and not just a homemade, paper-made champion.
You mentioned you want to fight in the Coliseum in Oakland, an outdoor fight rather than indoors. Is that correct?
Yes, we'd like to have it outdoors, and we've contacted the Honorable Martin Luther King and the Christian Southern Leadership Association, and they all will be handling the funds made from the fight. I'll fight for $100. I want no money. And medical facts and doctors. It was a big write-up not long ago on the thousands of people, black and white, that are starving and actually hungry through the South. And if we can get up a fight and make a good $1 million or $500,000 and turn as much of it as possible, if not all of it, over to these people, I'd be real happy.
Mohammed, right now you stand convicted of refusing to be inducted into the armed forces and face a 5-year prison term. How does it stand? You have appealed. Is that correct?
Yes, we have appealed, and that's all I can say on that. My lawyer is handling the legal part.
Well, do you actually feel you can beat this rap, or are you concerned about possibly going to jail for 5 years?
Well, I don't feel that it's a rap or I'm out to just beat nothing. But the reason I'm not worried, as you say, is because I'm just living up to my religious beliefs and the will of Allah, my God. And I know I'm not wrong or guilty of nothing, so I have nothing to worry about. Whatever happens is just the will of God. So I have no reason to feel guilty or feel criminal or be hiding my face, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm right. I know I'm right. Well, it's up to the people. Boxing is no good if the people don't pay to see it. And the people of America are a little too intelligent to sit and enjoy a match between a bunch of boys that I have already annihilated. And like I'm the heavyweight champion of the whole world, I have defeated everybody in the world, fought them all sizes, races, religions, went to all countries, all styles, gave them all a chance every 7 weeks. Fought them without return clauses, and I've established myself as a known true champion. And just making a champion, a homemade champion, with a pen and a pencil will not work. People just won't go for it.
Will you fight the winner of it, Muhammad? Do you think that's why they have to have 2 heavyweight matches at one time to make up for one that you fought?
Well, that may draw as half as many people as I did.
Muhammad, is there any contender right now who might give you a good showing? Anyone?
Well, yes. The man that I'm watching is Joe Frazier and this Jerry Quarry. And
what about your sparring
Thad
partner?
Spencer's getting pretty sharp.
Have you made any arrangements for a fight?
Ellis, yeah, he's good too. James Ellis.